Welcome back to Christians in Media, the television show where we talk with the TV and film industry's most influential Christians. I'm your host, Christina Lopez. On today's show, we caught up with PLNU graduate Jason Carter, who now works as a layout artist for DreamWorks Animation. His film credits include Flushed Away, B-Movie, and Kung Fu Panda. Let's take a look as Jason reflects back on his days at PLNU and how his experiences have helped him prepare for the professional world.
Can you tell me what kinds of opportunities in college have helped you get to this point in your career now?
I think there are two that come to mind. The first one, which nobody ever understands, is KPLR, which is a radio station in Point Loma.
The NASBO.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the privilege of being a production manager for a year on that, and then doing station manager for a year at KPLR. And it was really funny to me because I came from a world of computer science and not storytelling and whatnot, and to get into something that was really production heavy, you know, and KPLR had a lot of management and a lot of production that was done when I was there.
Wow.
And to get into something was really an eye-opener for me, and so it taught me a lot, and it really showed me that, hey, there's this whole other world that I really, really enjoy. And then I think the most notable is the student project that I did my senior year called the Isle Nevis, which was a pirate movie that makes people laugh.
Nice.
It was a pirate movie that we had done, and it wasn't all that great, but I think the thing that it had was scope and scale. And you have a group of 3 or 4 college kids who want to try and make a feature film in a really short amount of time. And so we did everything that we could possibly think of that Point Loma wasn't necessarily used to, from shooting on pirate boats, pirate ships in the middle of the San Diego Harbor, to doing aerial photography.
The whole 9 yards.
And everything that we could think of. And it just pushed me to think outside the box. Not that there's anything wrong with the box, but
or the bubble.
Yeah, but thinking outside of it a little bit forced me to think there are other things out there in the world, and that not to stifle the creative spirit. And anyways, that mentality, teaching me that, and then the actual film itself was one of the things I handed into DreamWorks and really connected with the producer of Father of the Pride.
Nice.
And she really took a liking to me, and then I got the job because of that. So.
Very cool. Was there any time that you felt challenged because of your beliefs?
You know, the story process at DreamWorks is one of constant creative ideas. You know, there's constant new ideas and whatnot, and there are things from time to time that tend to be some people's taste and not others, you know, fart jokes or whatever it may be. And there's some things that you just kind of go like, well, you know, that's not for me. But I think throughout the entire course of the creative process, you learn that a lot of things that maybe would challenge my beliefs or challenge other people's beliefs don't end up making it to the final cut of a film, just because
Good point.
you have to remember that we're a studio that we're trying to reach the mass people, the maximum amount of people as possible. Our audience is the biggest demographic that we can reach, and so you don't want to alienate anybody in that regard. So what you end up coming out with is usually pretty solid quality family films, which is really, really important to me.
What do you feel is the industry's general attitude towards Christians? Are they welcoming, or do they isolate them? What would you say?
You know, I don't think I've ever encountered anything that I want to say people have been stifled because of their beliefs. I've never been stifled because I'm a Christian. I think success and people who are driven is what's the most important. I think if you're a person who expects things to be handed to you, you're not going to be successful in the media industry. If you want to constantly get your name out there and constantly show people that you're interested, you're excited about the industry, you're passionate for doing whatever bad jobs come along, whatever it is, as long as you can get a piece of it, that's what people gravitate towards. And then just to keep touching on that real quick, I think that happiness and a positive spirit in general, just a person who is willing to be a positive person, not complain, a person who is willing to do a job with a smile on their face goes so much further than you would ever expect. I mean, if you're in an interview with somebody or whatnot, and just cracking a smile and letting that be contagious and affecting somebody else, it really is inspiring how far that goes.
That's awesome. Now, while your time at Point Loma, you directed a student film called Isle Nevis. How did that help you, I don't know, get to this point?
I think a better question actually, what did I not learn from that? That was such an all-inclusive, everybody directed, everybody produced, everybody was a grip kind of a project that you just learn so much about the filmmaking process in general.
That's awesome.
But one thing that is most important in any type of storytelling medium is the story itself. And if you don't have a good story, you don't have anything. You know what I mean? You can go spin your wheels a whole bunch without having something to actually of substance to work on. And the Isle Nevis really forced me to connect with the fact that You can't just want to do a feature because you want to do a feature. You have to have a story to tell. And if that story is meant to be a feature, great, let it gravitate towards that. If it's meant to be a short, great. If it's meant to be a video game, great.
Awesome.
But it's all about story, and that was a hard lesson to learn with Nevis, but one that we learned nonetheless.
That's awesome. You took away something from that, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ever wonder how something as simple as a smile can help make or break you in Hollywood? Stay tuned for the answer.